regardless of the market conditions, people need to move, right?
Yeah.
We have a roof over our head. We have very legitimate reasons why now is the time. You can't time everything in this world, right?
Right.
So I think even in the highest interest rate environments the United States have ever experienced, which by the way is we're nowhere close to that, right? So I still have clients tell me that they were getting mortgages when they were 18%. And so you have to move when you have to move sometimes. You can't pick and choose all the time. And so historically, 7% is pretty normal. 7.5% is normal historically. It's just not our normal that most of us have experienced. And a lot of first-time home buyers or people that have only bought one home in their life, they don't know anything different.
Right.
That's what they know.
Yeah, and it's a much harder pill to swallow if you're paying an interest rate currently at 3.25%.
Sure.
And it's kind of hard to wrap your head around getting out there and paying double.
And what it does to your payment is not inconsequential.
Right.
It's quite the difference. But what I think is interesting about your business is that you, in my opinion, of what you do is so different than someone like myself. Like I think you truly embody someone that I think, has done it all themselves. Like when you get a listing, you are so hands-on. I always see you and I'm impressed. You're there with the photographer, you're there doing social media content. You are all hands on deck. It's like, and you work solely from sphere and from people that know you. You're not someone who utilizes like all these online lead categories and you've done it in a very organic, natural way. And I mean that like with the most sincerity and the most like complimentary way I can give it to you, because most people don't go that route.
No. And it's funny because I think, I can't imagine doing it any other way. And you and I have a lot of colleagues that are very entrepreneurial, that do an amazingly large amount of business. And I don't think they could ever understand why anybody would take the hour out of their day to go meet the photographer.
Right.
And, but I think it all comes back to sort of my wiring from film production, where it's just, it's you're minimizing risk, with the more control you have.
Sure.
And, and I think, what I enjoy about, real estate, is the marketing. And I think my background really kind of prioritizes it for me. That's also to say I totally have control issues.
Sure.
And I'm not gonna put a house on the market if there's a photograph of the toilet seat up.
Sure.
I will pay the guy to go back and reshoot, you know? So, but once again, I think, I think I kind of came into the business and was recruited into an office of really, amazing, seasoned, single agents. And kind of, I was trained, of a sort of an, I guess, I don't want to say older philosophy, but it feels like a more outdated philosophy where, the level of your customer service is what was going to generate referrals. Like just if you're really good at your job and you really work hard, the phone will always ring. And, fortunately that's been true in my case, where I think, people, but I also think that I'm, there's a certain skill for self-promotion that I might lack compared to some of our more entrepreneurial colleagues. And, I think, that's just kind of the mode that I default to, is just,
well, I believe that is an authentic version of yourself. And one of the reasons why I think you're sitting here with me discussing this today is because I think you are the very authentic version of yourself, even online, which is exactly in contrast to what I think you were describing, the very self-promoting nature of a lot of the people that we work with right in this industry. I don't use social media personally. I can't stand any of it. And yet I'm in a business where I know it would help my business to be on there consistently and be self-promoting. Like, it's painful for me to be on a podcast,
Right.
and yet I host one. It's just not in my nature, right? It's a way I'm like moving through that and getting more clear with, I guess, the comfort level of who I am. And I think you've known that forever. I think the version of who you are is who you are. And, I just think you've built a business that is sustainable and, once again, authentic. And I think that is in direct contrast to a lot of people who are the most inauthentic versions of themselves I've ever seen. And we like to joke about it. So I don't know. So I just think it's such a different feeling than what sometimes we see out there.
Yeah. And I mean, and as far as social media goes, I mean, as much as I hesitate to say it, like, I do enjoy the social media experience, and but I think, I kind of approach it, and I think people have said this before, where like your online, your social media behavior should mimic that of you being at a cocktail party, and in that, like, it's, you need to, you just kind of take, things that would be appropriate, or things that would, be entertaining, or things that you want to share with people
Right.
at a cocktail party, and you kind of, edit yourself, as if you were in a room full of people, and I enjoy, of course, I'm a proud father, and I enjoy oversharing about my kids. And I also enjoy sharing, about, funny things that happen at work. And I enjoy sharing about, interesting things that have happened at work. And I enjoy, being proud of some of the things I do at work.
Right.
But I won't, I never want to put something on there that I don't think somebody would have some sort of entertainment, not have some sort of entertainment value.
Right. Well, and one of the questions I have for you is because of your business model, right? So and for those that might not know Dawson, so Dawson is what we call a solo agent. And so he's built a business where he is intimately involved in every aspect, from the initial phone call, through the search and the portal and either the home tour or the listing process. So you cater from the beginning to the very end. And you're super hands-on with every aspect of that. And that's why I think you referenced, that's kind of the way you were taught. That's the way real estate really used to be.
Yeah.
And the idea that this modern real estate team, where you have everything segmented and you have multiple people in the business and in every file, it's a very different contrast, and it's a very different experience for both people. And by the way, you can argue there's positives on either side.
Totally. 100%.
And so that's what people would do. If you're on a major team, they'll say we specialize in every little department and everyone has a specific role. Whereas you're really in like the old school mentality of hands-on customer service. I intimately know the client. And it's just a very different model than what a lot of people are being taught now that are entering the business today.
100%. And I think that, fundamentally, like, team structures, are kind of, are really built around efficiency, and sales systems are their intention is so that you can help your client better and more efficiently. But I think that, unfortunately, I think, sometimes those systems become more of a means for, some agents to not necessarily help their clients more, but to make more money. But we certainly know enough agents that are phenomenal, that are amazing team leaders, that, use those systems so well and still give so much back to their clients. But me personally, because I'm referral based, and because 99.9% of the people that I work with are either family, friends, or friends of friends, or family friends, like, there's to me, I feel like there's this added layer of accountability where I can't, I could never let any of them go back to that friend or that family member and even imply that I didn't work as hard as I could have.
Right.
So I think that's that also kind of, motivates me to, mow a lawn in wingtips, because
Sure.
the photographer is about to show up, like I don't think I could live with myself if, like, knowing that somebody thought I could have done something